Oh yes, folks, it's the WC back once again with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about why the Golden State Warriors lost. So in this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the Warriors season. I'm going to be talking about some of the key players, and then we're going to look ahead to the 2023-2024 season. What changes do the Warriors need to implement? What moving parts do they need to bring in, or things that they need to do in order to be back in the playoffs next season? So I could do another video about how they lost maybe in the Western Conference Finals or the whatever. It is what it is. Trying to be non-biased in this video. Let's address the most important thing on the board right now, and we're going to be talking about not Steph. All right, we're not talking about Steph right now. All right, we're going to get to Steph, but I want to focus on Klay. Okay, in the Game 6 loss on the road against the Lakers, Klay Thompson. This is Klay Thompson's numbers. All right, 38 minutes, and Klay had 8 points in 38 minutes. 8 points in 38 minutes. Like, that is just not good. When Donte DiVincenzo, and I'm not trying to throw Donte under the bus, because Donte is a very solid player, and I'll get back to Donte maybe in a few minutes. When Donte DiVincenzo has double the points that Klay Thompson has in an elimination game, that is not good, folks. That is not good. I know that Klay has had some injuries. I know that Klay has come all the way back. He's come full circle. Like, this loss right here is clearly on Klay. I mean, we talking about being wide open. All right, I know some people are going to look at Jordan Poole. They're going to say that Jordan Poole had one less point than Thompson in an elimination game. Yeah, but Klay played like 10 more. He played 15 more minutes than Jordan Poole in this game. Okay, in the elimination game. Of course, I can talk about Steph Curry. I can talk about, like, if you're going to switch places with an athlete at this point, right? Why wouldn't it be Steph Curry? The guy performed really great in Game 6, despite his team just kind of, like, really great is not great. I mean, 32 points in 39 minutes is not great, but it's still something that you look at and you say, that guy performed well enough to keep his team in the game, and that's what he did. For whatever reason. Let's address the real problem here. For whatever reason, the Warriors are just one of the worst. Let me make sure people understand. The Warriors are one of the worst road teams in the league. We're talking about just not winning anywhere besides in Golden State, in that building. And that's a problem. When you're trying to win a championship, that's a problem. You have to be able to take home court. You have to be able to hold home court, and they just weren't able to do it. Now, they were able to sneak past the Sacramento Kings for what it's worth, but the Kings are very young. I mean, this video is not about the Kings, it's about the Warriors. The Kings are very young, and when you look at this Warriors roster, man, and I'm going to go down them a few minutes. I'm going to let these dudes have it, man. I mean, this is the defending champions, or at least they were, right? Because they're eliminated. But I'm going to let these boys have it. Looking at Andrew Wiggins, just like Thompson, man. Like, I put more of the blame on Klay Thompson for the Game 6 loss than I do Wiggins, because Wiggins has had his injuries, his personal problems, and he just came back for the playoff run. I mean, it is what it is. 28 minutes, 6 points for Andrew Wiggins in an elimination game. Just not good. All right, Draymond Green is like, I would say that he's not even a secondary scorer. He's like a third string scorer, but he's always in the front line. He almost had a double with 9 rebounds and 9 points. But the thing that really sets Draymond apart, outside of like his guts and his grit on a basketball court, is his ability to be able to facilitate and set screens. He had 3 assists in his elimination game. Just not good at all. Looking at Kevon Looney almost had a double with 18 rebounds and 9 points. I mean, he's like a real solid rock foundation that they could build on. If they could work on like a low post game with Looney, like, he could be a really good player down the line for the Warriors for a potential another title run. I mean, I think that he's an intricate part of this. Same thing with Jordan Poole. Even though I threw him somewhat similarly under the bus earlier, along with Thompson and Wiggins just now, like, these guys had to be able to score in this environment in order to force a Game 7, and they just did not do it at all. The only person on this team that gets a pass is Steph. All right, maybe Dante. Dante played well and Looney played well, but everybody else on the squad either played average, below average, or just flat out missed shots, out of position. They look tired. But all right, can we take a second to talk about Steve Kerr? Because sometimes, it's really healthy to talk about Steve Kerr. All right, Steve Kerr. All right, we're going to really see how great of a coach Steve Kerr is. All right, I haven't had the chance to talk about Eric Spoelstra down in Miami. All right, haven't had the chance to talk about him. Right, but I'm going to talk about Steve Kerr because the Heat are still in the playoffs. They're advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. But looking at Steve Kerr, we're going to see how great of a coach Steve Kerr is coming up in the next year and a half. Because whether people like it or not, Thompson and Curry are starting to get older, man. Jordan Poole, if he's going to be like the next face of this franchise, he's got to show it. He's got to show it eventually, right? I mean, Wiggins is not no spring chicken either. Neither is Draymond. So this Warriors team is slowly but surely getting older, and they need to be able to fit in some new pieces like a Jordan Poole to come in there and really just take the reins and relieve some of the scoring from a Curry. I mean, I'm not saying that the Warriors bench was completely garbage. I mean, their bench is not garbage. It's just that they're just not well-rounded enough to be the team like the Lakers, who can go big on you suddenly, who can bring wings out suddenly, who can bring a shutdown point guard like Schroeder in there suddenly. Russell can hit shots out of nowhere. Like the Lakers bench and the Lakers team they're kind of built to be in the finals. That's something that I have to give the Lakers credit for, but it's not about the Lakers. It's about the Golden State Warriors. Looking at the Warriors, I'm like, look, going into the next season, all right, they've got to reassure this bench, and they definitely need another scorer alongside Curry and Thompson. It's just, Wiggins is just not that guy. I mean, Poole could be that guy, but he's better as a sixth man. Poole's better as a sixth man, as a switch up from a Curry and a Thompson. That's what his role needs to be. That's what won them the championship last year, was with Jordan Poole being somewhat of a sixth man, and him and Curry just kind of alternating that position of being sixth man off the bench for a title run. So looking at them, they definitely need to get bigger. For whatever reason, George Wiseman ended up in Detroit. I mean, it is what it is. So they need to get bigger down low. And they need to get guys that can hit shots consistently. I'm one of the first people to tell you that I like Gary Payton Jr. Or the Mitten, if you want to call him that. But the scoring's not there. He played 10 whole minutes and scored 4 whole points in an elimination game. Just not acceptable. Some of that comes down to Steve Kerr, whether it be foul trouble or not. So let me know how you guys feel down below. What are some of the things that the Warriors can do with their roster, looking at the way that it is right now? What can they do to basically put themselves back in a position? Now, I talked about the Suns yesterday and Kevin Durant not leaving Golden State and then messing him up, right? Golden State won the championship last year without him. It looks like they need a Kevin Durant. It looks like this roster needs a Kevin Durant. I don't know if he would be open-minded to going back to Golden State, but hey, anything can happen in the NBA. Let me know how you guys feel down below. And this right here, this video, is why the Warriors lost.